Welcome back to one of the last few hot food challenges. This time we are doing the Death Nut 2.0. Rules of this challenge are there are 5 levels of nuts. Each one you chew the nuts for 30 seconds, then you let it afterburn for a minute and a half before going to the next level. If you make it to the last level, you do the 30 seconds, and then you do a 5-minute afterburn. This will be one of the last few of the challenges before the very last one. So we'll see how we do on this one, because unlike the previous challenges, the last level of this challenge, the Death Nut, is listed at 13 million Scoville units instead of the previous challenges of 9 million. Okay, first one is level 1, Carolina Reaper and the chocolate bootla peppers. Okay. These are very pleasant, mildly sweet. You can definitely taste the chocolate bootla peppers. They are very chocolatey tasting, very pleasant. That's the 30 seconds. Now we're going to do the 1 minute afterburn before moving on to the next. There's only a very mild heat for me. It's actually kind of a pleasant burn, and the nuts themselves were extremely tasty. I could eat a lot of those. Like I said, mildly sweet with a very definite chocolate flavor to them. Wouldn't mind finding a market where I could actually buy those chocolate bootla peppers if it added that kind of flavor to the food. The heat is already starting to dissipate a little bit. Again, it's actually kind of a pleasant heat, nothing terrible. We're getting to a minute on the afterburn. So far, level 1 was really nice. We're about to start level 2, which is the Carolina Reaper mixed with ghost peppers. Okay. And that is a minute and a half afterburn. Okay. Go. Okay. Those were actually very pleasant as well. The heat was a little bit increased for the second level, but still pretty pleasant burn. The nuts again were actually fairly sweet, even a little more so than the first level, although the flavor of the second pepper, you could definitely taste ghost pepper. Not so much of a chocolate flavor, but more of a peppery taste. So that was definitely the ghost pepper. But still mildly sweet and actually pretty pleasant. So it's obviously high quality peanuts, which I enjoy. The heat is a little bit more intense, still not terrible, actually pretty pleasant. We're hitting the 1 minute mark for the afterburn. Next level, it's getting real. That is the Carolina Reaper and the 7-pot brain strain peppers. Never heard of those. Sounds interesting. Go ahead and get it open here. Ooh. Looks like some of these got stuck together. Very extremely red pepper taste, flavor, appearance. Okay, let's see here. You can see those. Kind of a very heavy red appearance. And we start the afterburn. This level was definitely more heat. Still that slight sweet flavor, so I'm assuming that the sweet is probably a little more from the peanuts rather than the pepper powder itself. Definitely a different flavor. More a cayenne kind of taste, so I'm assuming that's the increased capsaicin crystals on there from the hotter pepper. Definitely more of a tingle on the tongue, so a more intense heat. Starting to get a little bit more intense. I'm starting to sweat on the back of my neck. But it's not an unpleasant tingling in the mouth. Definitely starting to get more intense. Hitting the 1 minute mark. Level 4 is the pain sets in. 2 times the Carolina Reapers combined with a 7-pot douglas pepper. Starting to get a little more heat going. But that's the fun, huh? Okay. Definitely more of a red coating on there. Having a hard time keeping the peanuts chewed long enough before they just disappear. Let's start the afterburn. Definitely more of an intense heat. I can really feel the capsaicin crystals tingling in my mouth. Still not unpleasant, way more intense. I could definitely feel and taste the heat. I'm assuming the fourth level is around 9 million, like the other challenges. I am loving the peanuts though. They have a very distinct sweet flavor to them, which goes extremely well with the peppers. I love it. I could eat peanuts like these all day long. I don't know how my stomach would feel after several doses of them, but they would definitely be fun on the way down anyway. The last level is stupid hot. The Death Nut. It is 2 times the Carolina Reaper pepper, the Moruga Scorpion pepper, and 13 million Scoville capsaicin crystals. We're almost to the last burn. Ooh, deep red. Okay. Really starting to sweat a little bit now. All right. Ooh. Well, that one almost escaped. Here we go. And that's 30. Let's go ahead and quickly get the timer set to 5 minutes. I know we're actually already into the 5 minutes, but what the heck. Do a little bit more of an afterburn just for the extra challenge. Starting the 5-minute afterburn. Honestly, 13 million plus 2 times the Carolina Reaper and the Scorpion pepper. I don't know. I'm not impressed. Honestly, I don't feel that much more of an intense. I can definitely taste a more intense heat from the peppers, but as far as like being unbearably hot in my mouth, no. The peanuts, still definitely a very pleasant sweetness to them. Like I said, I'm loving these peanuts. Whatever kind they're using, I wish I could find out because they're delicious. And apparently, according to the rules in the box, you were only supposed to chew the contents of each level for 15 seconds, not 30. Apparently, the rules I got off the internet were incorrect. And you're only supposed to wait 60 seconds of an afterburn in between each level. So, apparently I've been doing way more of a challenge than I originally was supposed to. But, I don't know if it's the previous challenges or what. My stomach's not even really feeling the burn off of these nuts either. Definitely can taste the heat. It's tingling in my mouth a little bit. I'm assuming that's the 13 million Scoville unit capsaicin crystals. And 25 calories for the whole box of peanuts. Now that is not bad, especially for how tasty they are. We're about halfway through the afterburn. Can definitely feel the heat. I'm sweating as if I was doing cardio. The burn in my mouth is not bad. It tingles a little bit. Definitely not unpleasant. very good peanuts though. I think my favorite of the levels would still have to be level 1. Not because of the mildness, but because of the chocolate flavor of the peppers. Those were delicious. If I could find those peppers, I would add them to just about everything. They were extremely delicious, but in general, all the levels were really good. Very pleasant, subtle sweetness to the nuts. The pepper became more intense on each level, but not uncomfortably so. In general, this was actually a very pleasant challenge. I think it's probably my favorite. The chocolate wasn't too bad, but by the time you hit the last bar, it wasn't so pleasant, especially not on the stomach. But the nuts were generally pleasant throughout the whole challenge. So that was a nice surprise. Next one will be the final challenge that I have planned, at least for a while anyway, where we will tackle the Tube of Terror. For the most part though, this has been an extremely pleasant challenge. We're hitting in the final minute. The tingling is still there, but again, it's not unpleasant. There's only a very minor burn. Still sweating. I can kind of feel it in my stomach now, just a tiny bit, but not too bad. I'm sure that's the peppers doing their work, but it's possible doing so many of these challenges has kind of steeled my gut, which is a good thing, because the first few were not very pleasant. All in all, I've enjoyed these challenges pretty well. I hope you've enjoyed watching me do them. And that is the 5-minute afterburn. Challenge completed. We are good. Thank you again for watching, and I hope you'll join me on the last challenge for the Tube of Terror. Be good.